Hello and good morning, my friends. Thanks so much for being here today. My name is Pat Flynn, and this is an Ask Me Anything. Any questions are on the line except my home address and credit card number and social, and the more obvious things too. But I'm just really grateful to have the opportunity this Sunday to be able to hang out with you for the next hour and hopefully help you out, hopefully inspire you, motivate you, and just distract us from all the craziness that's happening in the world today. This is day 214 of the income stream in a row. Wow. I'm incredibly grateful again. Let's have some fun. Let's start the show.
This is the income stream to help you achieve your dream, all while we keep it clean. This is the income stream. It's the kind of show where you can come and go, but then you leave inspired with no fee required. The income stream with Pat Flynn.
All right. Good morning, y'all. Sundays are a little bit more chill here, which is cool. During the week, we're going to get into some heavy topics and go deep in them. But today it's going to be mostly Q&A. And if we happen to have the Microgreens Entrepreneur here, we can start out by finishing off what we started yesterday at the tail end of the show. Yesterday or Saturdays, we typically go through people's websites, people's YouTube channels, and we do what we can to help out. I kind of rushed through Microgreen Entrepreneurs yesterday, his sales page, because I wanted to review some others and I didn't want to just skimp on those. So if you happen to be here, Microgreens Entrepreneur, let me know. What's up, Xenia Vlada? Rich, good to see you in the house. Manos on. I woke up today thinking I should ask your social security number. Hashtag PatMaster. That's funny. Elton, Hagwood, Mushrooms, Hagwood, what's up? Great to see you here. Fun will now commence. Dr. Joella, Stephanie, we got Peter, Rex, Elton, Grandma Goody, Max, Mai, Debbie, Rex, Peter, Ryan. Welcome in, everybody. Thanks so much. And Microgreens is here. So let's start out with that. Then we're going to put on some nice chill music and get into some Q&A. So maybe 5 minutes on this, if that's cool, Microgreens. And we'll go from there. So let's share the screen. So we were here yesterday, remember, and we talked about how this is actually a pretty decent start. Microgreens Business Blueprint. Do you want to start a profitable microgreens business quickly and hassle-free? If yes, this course is for you. I think I remember reviewing your website not too long ago either, and we had some really nice shots of some greens, but they didn't provide any context. And here on the sales page, I'm not seeing that issue anymore. In the background here, obviously I'm seeing some microgreens. I don't know what this is exactly. Maybe some radishes, or I can't tell, and maybe some pea shoots in the background. But this gives us a little bit of insight on what we can do here. But scrolling down, you see your grow racks and all these great things, and I think that's fine. We play this video. It's great to have a sales page video. Sales page videos are really key. And then on your sales page itself, typically, it's basically the same thing as a video, just sort of extrapolate it out. The one thing that we were missing yesterday were, number one, the objections that people have. And we had started coming up with scenarios, putting ourselves in the shoes of our customer or potential customer and going, oh, well, I don't have enough space. Well, here's what you can do. And here's how this course will still help you. Oh, well, I don't have a lot of money to start with. Okay, well, don't worry, because we help you get started for under $100 or under $50, whatever. You want to break through a lot of those conversations that people are having with themselves, and you want to be the one to bring up those objections first to offer a rebuttal so that they don't do it themselves on their own and likely make up stories or excuses that would stop them from moving forward. Right? So let's scroll down, Brian, and we talk about what the business is for, what it can do for you. Can be done in a small space, work from home, high profit margins. I agree with all this. I've done this before myself. I haven't tried to make money from it. What about the other objection? Well, I don't know how to sell. I don't know how to sell. And this could be a big one that could stop a lot of people from moving forward too. So addressing that, maybe even in its own section. A lot of people don't know how to sell. And if you have some of that teaching in here, you can even share a couple examples to offer some value up front. I don't know how you're leading people into this. That's the one question that I had for you is, well, are you having people download something for free, a cheat sheet or a equipment list or something that is highly valuable, relevant, but would still open up more questions, in which case the course can help you sell. I like how you have some specific testimonials here from within the course. That's really neat. Some testimonials from actual students is good. Now this shot here is legit the same shot that I'm seeing. This is just a thumbnail, right? Let me play this really quick.
Much every restaurant
Okay, cool. Yeah, that was the thumbnail. You might want to use a different image or something a little bit different here. Maybe something that provides more context with you and maybe your family in it, if you don't mind, or something like that. Something that goes a little bit more into who you are. We've already seen this picture. You can use this space to offer something else, another angle, something else like that. A cheap sheep. A chi-chi. Yeah, if I it's been a while since I remember, since we had that joke. Let's see. It would be, so this is a long string of text here. It would be cool to see some more behind the scenes stuff here. If maybe you have some, you mentioned your YouTube videos, maybe a little small thumbnail of one of those YouTube videos and how many views it has for a little bit of proof. That's the other thing that people want here. They want proof. Proof that this is going to work. Proof from others and proof from you. And so this paragraph here is quite long, so you could break it up with some images that can sort of demonstrate that proof or show a little bit more context here. And again, this image here is quite large, and that's okay, but we've seen this image before, so let's try a different one if that makes sense. What's up, David? Back to work. Thankful that you're being here. Let's see, course information, great. I think that this is not necessarily the most attractive thing, so we don't necessarily need to put it first. People do not want to go through an online course. People want to learn or get what it is that they're going to get on the other end of the course. We don't wake up in the morning and go, oh, I can't wait to take another online course. We say, oh, I can't wait to start my microgreen business, or I can't wait to make this easy. So 66 video lessons can be potentially perceived as being a lot. And quantity is not selling anymore like it used to be. Back in the day when I started online courses, the big thing was having 10, 12, 20 hours of videos. That was like huge because you couldn't get those videos anywhere else. Now people can watch videos on YouTube or go and find this information themselves. And honestly, we want things to be more convenient. So, I mean, what would you prefer? A course that can get you the same result in 6 hours, or a course that can get you the result in 3 hours? Not saying you have to cut half your stuff. I'm just saying the benefit is the convenience of this as well, and how much time you're saving them, right? So instead of necessarily starting with, we have 66 video lessons over 6 total hours. It's a lot of sixes, by the way, and I'm not that superstitious, but anyway, that's another thing. Maybe potentially saying, learning how to do this can take years, but in just 6 hours, you'd be able to understand and avoid all the same problems that a beginner might actually make. You see what I'm trying to do there? I'm trying to create a juxtaposition of what it would actually take to do this on my own versus now the benefit of coming in here. And that's something that's really key. Now, people will ask how many lessons are there. Also include how many minutes many of these videos are. Because 66 video lessons, if they're all an hour long, then that's not, I don't want that. But if they're all just 3 or 4 minutes, then we can go there. What's up, Charles? Good to see you here. An opportunity to go back and find what you need, says Kelly. Love that. The convenience of a well-organized online course so you never get lost, those kinds of things. These other things are great. Clear action items telling you exactly what needs to be done. Growing matrix. This I would say is the weakest part of the sales page right here that we can move forward with. Then what you'll learn, this should likely actually come first. These are the problems that are like, okay, cool. Also, I noticed that I don't see any other buy buttons. I saw one right up front here, enroll now, and including them in other sections, I would include one right here. Now people gotten to know you. Cool, I'm in, Brian. Let me click. I don't have to go and find the enroll now button. What you'll learn and sort of what the course is about. Boom. Okay, next, find one. Check out this lesson from removing the seed holes from the course. I would say make this even more valuable, or perceived as more valuable, the fact that you're giving it away for free. Here is a free lesson for you from our premium course that you can watch right now for free. And hopefully this is a good one. I'm not going to go into this. These look like sunflowers, actually. Bonuses, great. I would have images or something that makes these more attractive. There's only just one single sentence about each of these. You got to sell each of these too. Why is the growing journal important? Use this free downloadable journaling document to record the details from each trade so you can learn from your mistakes and successes, right? And then something like, initially I didn't keep a journal myself and I found that I was struggling to keep track of all my things. So I wanted to make this easy for you. And mini growing journals are often very complicated and hard to use. I make this easy for you. This is a part of the package that comes for free, if that makes sense. Get the course and all bonuses for $99. Enroll now. Cool. 100% money back guarantee. Okay. Frequently asked questions. Everything that's included. Another button. Okay, cool. So enroll now for $199. This is a little confusing. I thought it was $99. So it says enroll now for get the course and all bonuses for $99. Enter the coupon code founding. Enroll now for $90. Yeah, that's confusing. Even though I know that if I put in this coupon code here, it won't. Yeah. See. So look. So we have bonuses, and then we have get the course and all bonuses for $99, and then it says enroll now for $199. This is such a small component. I would have this either right next to the buy now button, or just have it enroll for $99. Price goes back up to $199 on this date. Scroll down, everything included, same thing. Enroll now for $199. Put the coupon code right there. Again, I don't want to have to search for it. And the last thing I'll say is we really need to make sure that there's a reason to buy right now, right? So this date of Monday, October 19th, which is what, next week? No, crap. Yeah, tomorrow. We need to make sure that this is so clearly known as people are coming in. Special deal ends tomorrow, or whatever new date that you have, and where they're coming from via email or on your website or in the description of your YouTube videos, etc. We need to have a reason. People won't buy unless there's a reason to buy. So I like the fact that you are having this founding launch, but we need to really, really display and show that this is the thing that people are going to lose out on, if that makes sense. Cool. So microgreens, I hope this was helpful. Thanks for allowing us to put you on the chopping block a little bit, but found some things that I think would definitely make this more helpful and reduce some confusion. So well done. Thank you so much. And let's answer some questions. How about that? All right. So chat, let me know if the music levels are fine. We're just going to relax now. We're going to chill out, and we're going to answer some questions. So if you have a question, type in the word question in all caps. And also, if you're a member here, use the question emoji, and I'll do what I can to help out. Microgreen says, I will make the changes. Awesome. Elton says, what would be the reason for the specific date, like Black Friday? The reason is because people are very time-based. Oh, this happens when, right? Our calendars, etc., very important to all of us just in general. So when you say, hey, you have until Friday to make this decision, or else, this plays on the idea of FOMO, the fear of missing out, right? So we can take advantage of this, but use these powers for good, right? Because you can obviously use these powers for bad. With great power comes great responsibility, right? So we need to make sure that we use this for good. But if we know we have something that can help people, we need to use these strategies in order to help people understand that now's the time to make a decision on this, if that makes sense. Should we use ads in the beginning? JD, if you're talking about YouTube videos, that's going to be really up to you. You have to sort of qualify to be able to do that. 1,000 subscribers, and I think over 10,000 viewing hours in total, I think, is the minimum before you get qualified for that. And if you're talking about a podcast, there's really no requirement, but it's, again, how you want to affect the customer experience or the listener or reader or viewer experience. On YouTube, you have a lot of more opportunity to do this without upsetting people. People are just used to including ads on their videos. Pay attention to what your audience is saying as well. I heard that people were not so keen on having ads at the beginning of these live streams. I put the ads in later, but for those who are here live and waiting, I don't think you deserve to see an ad right away. And it's not going to be a huge moneymaker anyway. So what's more important is your experience here. So I've turned off ads for the live streams until later after their replays. But I haven't heard anybody complain about the YouTube videos that I have normally and that are not live People are used to skipping those, no problem. Lisa, you're tardy to class. What are you doing? Can we use ads to promote our site? You can do that. Facebook ads are very popular, Instagram ads, YouTube has ad platform as well, Google. Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's see. Anka is asking, what do you think is best for podcast recording, mono or stereo? Mono is going to be best for most cases because there's just that one voice and that one channel. It's just easier to edit, less things that could potentially break. Just go mono. I go mono all the time. Diego says, I'm Hispanic. My accent is holding me back from starting my YouTube channel. Any suggestions? I would say just go. Just put it out there. It's not going to be the best at first, but you will get better over time just naturally. There's a lot of people who I know who have very strong accents who just got started anyway. And even without improving, they seem to attract a certain kind of audience that really loves and respects them for creating this information. And so long as the information is great, then people will be willing to be okay with an accent. And again, most people are okay with it. I am, as long as you can be heard and audible. The other component of this is perhaps you might feel more comfortable creating content in your native language first, and then going into English after that, and maybe thinking about the Hispanic market first, which is growing in the podcasting space, in the YouTube space, etc. Question from Boris says, what's your favorite video game of all time? Super Mario Brothers 2, the weird one, the odd one, the one that actually wasn't built initially for Mario, but because the actual Mario 2 that came out was so similar to Mario 1 and it was way too difficult in the US, they actually put Mario, Luigi, Toadstool, or Princess Toadstool, and Toad, the mushroom. They put their avatars on an existing game that was already built. That was nothing like Mario. It's the one where you could pick up radishes, throw them, and all those things. That's my favorite game of all time. The first video game I've ever beat. Question, what do you use to switch between cameras during a live stream? Well, I switch using a tool called Ecamm Live. So Ecamm Live allows me to include different camera angles or connect different cameras, webcams, DSLR cameras, this camera here, webcams, etc. And I use the switchboard that I have, which is called the Elgato Stream Deck. You can actually see it right here. This is if I push this button right here, it goes there, and then I can push it to go back to the main screen here. I have all my live setup stuff in a recent YouTube video that you can see, as well as patflynn.com/live setup. Question from Prakash. How to know the needs, desires, concerns of target market if they are not very active on the internet. My target audience is students aged between 14 to 19. Figure out where those students are. First of all, many students are online. We just don't know where they're at exactly. They're on places like TikTok and places like Snapchat, for example. They're not necessarily on Facebook or Twitter as much as an older generation. I would also go and see how you might be able to find them in person, or find groups of people who already have their attention and go there. That's kind of where I would start, Prakash, if that makes sense. Question, we already answered that question. Question from Scott. Pat, should we name our new Sheltie puppy? What should we name our new puppy? We've had him for a week and we just can't decide. His brother Picasso says we're taking way too long on this. Picasso, eh? What about Da Vinci? If you have a Picasso, I like themes, right? So we have dogs that are going to be sort of 80s / Marvel themed. Our dog Gizmo from Gremlins, unfortunately he passed away a couple months ago, which was just tragic, our first sort of loss like that. But we have Gizmo. Our next dog is likely either going to be a Yoda or a Jarvis. Jarvis would be pretty cool. I don't know. It's really up to you. I don't know, Scott, but I like a Da Vinci, Picasso, these really amazing thought leaders and leaders in their time and era. Let's see. What are your favorite podcasting tools? For a host, I like Buzzsprout. I'm obviously a big fan of Fusebox.fm, which is my own product. It's a player and a transcription tool and a suite of other tools that are coming to help podcasters mainly on their website. I'm also a big fan of analytical tools, all analytical tools. Unfortunately, there's not one that makes sense for all of them, but podcast analytics on Apple and on Spotify, and even Google now are really helpful for understanding, well, where are people listening, where are people dropping off, what episodes are most popular, etc. And then finally, I like Podkite to be able to see all the reviews from all different countries in one spot, and also track chart numbers and all those kinds of things. Mano says, so what happened to your MacBook? Did you fix the problem that you had with it? I did. So we now have the original MacBook back. The LCD screen cracked. It was still able to turn on, but I wasn't able to see anything. It took 14 days to get back, but I finally got it back. I'm also excited because I have a new iPhone 12 coming. I swear, Apple just pushes that button to make other phones go slowly when there's a new phone that comes out. I don't know if that's actually true, but my phone has been needing an upgrade for a while, and I have an iPhone 12 Pro coming, not a Pro Max, but a Pro. And I'm really excited because the camera, especially now that I'm doing a lot more Reels and TikTok type stuff, it should be really, really helpful. So I'm excited about that. Microgreens Entrepreneur, thanks a million for that, Pat. Is it possible to use Deadline Funnel to offer a discount for a limited time with a teachable sales page, or do you need a different checkout software? We use Deadline Funnel and we put it as we have the checkout. Yeah, it's definitely possible. So I won't get into the details of it. In fact, Jack Bourne, who's the founder of Deadline Funnel, I interviewed him on the podcast. He should be coming on very soon in a number of weeks here. But yes, it can be used. We use it ourselves. We use that. We still use the teachable checkout software. And I think what happens is we have different, so for the same product, Brian, we have multiple different packages, and there's one that is a discounted package and another one that is like the regular one. And we have, when we do the Deadline Funnel sequence, it shows and displays the sales page and checkout process for the discounted one. And then when that Deadline Funnel ends, when their countdown timer, which can display on the page, goes away, it then redirects to the normal one without the discount, without the bonuses. So yes, it can be used for that, for sure. Yo, thank you so much. Who is that? Debbie. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. All right, let's see. JD, how do you follow scripts while looking at the camera? So there's a couple ways to do this. Number one, you just read a certain section of your script, and then you look at the camera, and then you read it, and then you come down, kind of remember the next sentence, go back, and then you can take it in chunks. And that way, when you edit, you can remove the parts in the middle and squish those things together and go from there. Boris, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. Appreciate you for that. So you can do it that way, or you can have a teleprompter. And there are teleprompters that would enable you to then see the text scrolling as you're looking through the place where the text is scrolling, just a little glass pane that's angled and the camera's right behind it. So you're actually looking at the camera and reading at the same time. So that would be a teleprompter. Jamari says, how can I earn using cell phone? Cell phone, laptop, desktop, doesn't matter. If you're creating a platform and have the ability to upload content and to connect with people, that's really all you need. You need to understand what the pains, problems, desires, etc. are for people, and then be able to create or connect with others in a way that they can see that you're being helpful. That's really what all good business is about, is helping solve other people's problems. And there's no reason why you couldn't do that on a cell phone. It would be just a little more challenging to do things like type. So perhaps your best strategy would be to use platforms like YouTube for video or podcasting for audio, to use your cell phone to be able to create that content and upload it, and then gain an audience, help people, create products from there, coach people. You can coach people using your phone. You can have phone calls that only people who pay can get access to, live streams that only people who pay to get access to. That can all be done. Debbie says, Ola Pet, what are some ideas to keep a Facebook group engaged on a topic that's very new but much needed to its target audience? Example, educating real estate, small business owners on cybersecurity. So we need to create a group and have conversations about what people are interested, right? But having people understand what's also important is really key. So you almost kind of have to have a need and want that people kind of are interested in. And then that's kind of like where you hear the phrase, give them what they want, or show them what they want and then give them what they need, right? So in this group, maybe it's not all conversations about cybersecurity, but maybe it's a group that is built for networking and connection, which is obviously really important and a big desire in the real estate space. But then within that, you as the expert can come in every once in a while, not every post, but with some helpful tips related to people's websites, people's brands, and cybersecurity just in general. So this is a place where people can come together, but also get what they need to make sure their business is secure and their online presence is not going to be affected by that. So sort of some play on that would make the most sense to me, because if you just have people subscribe, people don't want to have to, people aren't going to engage much in a group where all conversations are about that, because that's not what's on top of people's mind. But if you can bring them into a space and then inject this content into them, you're going to be seen as the expert. You're going to become the go-to person. And the fact that you're creating this group and facilitate these conversations, it elevates your brand in general. And you become the glue between everybody that can almost provide support service. Like, here's where you come to get your tech support. Maybe that's the sort of ask. Cybersecurity isn't, you're right, on a lot of people's mind, but tech support is, right? If that makes sense. Yo, Microgreens Entrepreneur! Thanks for becoming a new member, my friend. I appreciate you. I love Super Mario 2, yes. Great game. I'm curious if Pat would show the backyard farms in one of his upcoming videos. I'm keen to learn about greenery stuff. Yeah, it's not really even a farm. It's literally 3 2x4, 2 foot by 4 foot raised beds in the backyard. Actually, one of them's 3x4 or 3x5. That's the one that me and April have. The kids each have their own 2x4 raised bed, and there's just some greenery growing in there. And actually, we're going to be harvesting some tomatoes very soon. It's not much, but even just in a small space, we can grow a lot, and we have been growing a lot. I'd look up square foot gardening if that was something you'd be keen to look and learn more about. Cool. Let's see here. Warnoff Keys, thoughts on Discord? I feel greatly underrated as a community platform due to how you can customize it, interact with your community, and use Discord bots to improve the user experience. Yeah, Discord is huge in the gaming industry specifically, and even on YouTube. But other than that, it's pretty unknown for a lot of people. A lot of people don't even know what Discord is. So if you could get ahead of that, I think Discord is going to grow even more as communities become more and more important. And the trouble with Discord is, it's not trouble, and true, this isn't required, but it's almost a little too much friction to get involved with it for most non-tech savvy people. And I think that's why it hasn't grown as much as, say, for example, Facebook groups, right? Because everybody's on Facebook already, and it just is one click to join a group. This one, you have to download Discord, you have to create your new account, you have to understand the implications of having your voice being potentially heard. It is obviously chat and text-based as well. Having the voice connections in little separate rooms is really cool too. I absolutely love that. So yeah, I think it's a great opportunity. If you can educate your audience and help them understand how to get in there, I mean, what an amazing place for people to come in and connect with each other, for sure. I know some YouTubers who have Discords where people are connecting with each other's. I follow a lot of stock-based or stock-related YouTube channels that offer content about stocks that are interesting and, you know, disruptive and whatnot. And there's some Patreons that I know they share where Patreons get involved in the Discord. And that works really well because people who pay will usually work a little bit further to go and get into those types of places. And so what an amazing way to connect with your audience. So if you haven't checked out Discord, check it out. I use it simply just to connect with other gamers, and that's great too. But it is an amazing tool for sure. Let's see. Coincidentally, we had a Sheltie named Da Vinci. We named Picasso in his honor. Ah, cool. Michelangelo, Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael. Heroes in a Half Shell, Turtle Power. Jarvis is a good name, thank you. Question from Diego. I have an outdoor extreme site with 11 blog posts and counting. When should I start including the affiliate link and resource page? I would literally include it right now. There's no reason why not to do it. Here's the example. I'm just picking on you, Diego, but this is exactly what you're saying. Hey, everybody, I have stuff that can help you, but I'm not gonna share it with you yet because I don't have enough people watching me yet. So even though you're here and this can help you, I'm gonna hold back because there's just not enough people. I know that's not necessarily what you meant, But that's the idea. That's the analogy. You should start including this stuff now because affiliate links are not for you. A byproduct of putting them on is for you, earnings and commissions. But affiliate links and affiliate resources and helpful items you find online are a service to your audience. You are doing them a favor by reducing the noise, by finding the good stuff amongst all the bad to be able to then share with them and display and make it more convenient for them, for sure. Microgreens, gotta run. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks again for all the help. Thank you, Microgreens, for the super chat and for being a new member here. Good luck to you. I cannot wait to see the results of what we just talked about. So yes. Scott says Ninja Turtles have definitely been discussed. Splinter. April. Shredder. Ooh, what about Shredder? Shredder would be a cool name for like a legit, especially if it's like a small soft dog named Shredder. That's actually kind of ironic. Anyway. Question from Tommy Jay Owens. SPI, AskPat, and others are recognizable brands. Do you make social sites for each Instagram, Twitter, etc., or just use your personal name to direct people to contact you directly? I have them all under just my personal name because, to me, people want to connect with other people. And I know some people who have specific social channels just for that podcast, but you also really never know, like, are you actually talking to that person? Or, you know, you have to work a little bit harder to show the human behind the brand versus if you're just the human who owns all these brands, then you can have conversations about all these things. They can cross-promote all your stuff for you. I like going that way. Miss Boyce, thanks for being here. Pat, you said you are half Filipino. Indeed. I was wondering, can you speak any Filipino languages? Hindi. No, not at all. I only know the bad words in Tagalog, and I don't know my mom's dialect, which is Pasayan, and she's from Cebu. And so, yeah, I don't know. I just know the bad words, unfortunately, and I'm not going to demonstrate that here live. But sorry to hear about Gizmo. Thanks, JD. Yeah. So, no. I know how to say certain words, like, no, I'm not even gonna say. I wish I knew Tagalog. In high school, they actually had a Tagalog class, and a lot of my friends took it because I had a lot of friends who are Filipino, and my parents suggested that I take Espanol because it was more relevant to my future, I guess you could say. They were just like, oh, you live in Southern California, this could be very helpful for you as you get into the workforce and sort of get out into the real world here in Southern California. Not that I was like, knew that I was going to stay here, and I actually left to go to Northern California for school and then came back. But yeah, I wish I learned Tagalog. I want to learn it. Let's see. Super sticker. Pair character exaggeratedly stretching his arms forward to offer a cut. This is funny. This description of and I know you didn't put this in here, Debbie. This is just text based. What the sticker says. Pair character exaggeratedly stretching his arm forward to offer a cup of coffee. Cheers, Debbie. Yeah, April's not watching Menos, don't worry. Let's see. Sue uses Deadline Funnel and completely recommends it. I agree. Question from JD. Does Google Analytics show anything we wouldn't find in YouTube Studio Analytics? It's different. It's different. I mean, there's stuff that YouTube Analytics will show you that Google doesn't. But again, that's for video specifically. And there's stuff vice versa. Time on site, those kinds of things. There's equivalents, obviously. And then you can go really deep into it. You can create your own little special dashboards to show you just the data that you want to see. And you can have also funnels shown in there too. So how people come in, where people exit, and you can have certain campaigns created and see the conversions of those campaigns. You can create ways to connect on Google Analytics. Again, this is a little bit more advanced, but you can create campaigns such that you can put a dollar amount to them. So you can see when people convert, and there's like little scripts that you put on your website so that when a person lands on a thank you page after purchase, that counts as a conversion, which then adds a dollar amount in Google Analytics, and you can see how much money you've made in Google Analytics based on that and see which ones are providing the most results. Yeah, so it is very different. There are similar things, but it's definitely different. Sai says, how to come up with topics for a podcast. Number one, if you have content elsewhere, see what's popular elsewhere, and then create podcast voice content about that because you've already known it's proven to be successful. Find out what other people are talking about on other brands and other channels related to the same target audience. So podcasts, blogs, YouTube videos, what are popular in that space? Create create podcast episodes about that. Ask your audience questions like, what are you challenged with right now? What's your number one biggest struggle? What questions do you have about blank? And then you can just use those questions as inspiration for your podcast. Go into books, look at the table of contents of books related to your topic. Go in there and find, there's likely other subtopics that you haven't talked about yet. Yes, you can actually look inside the covers of books on Amazon, check out the table of contents and see where you might get some inspiration. Don't copy, obviously, but use that as inspiration for, I didn't even think about talking about that, and this person wrote about it in his book. Now I'm going to start the research to do those kinds of things. All right. Peter, how do I get over the fear of starting a YouTube channel based on my eczema making my face flaky and an ugly mess? I would just start, and you can even just include it in your description and say, hey, I have a severe case of eczema, in case you were curious. If you're here to make fun of how I look, then I'm not here to serve you. But if you're here for information about X, Y, Z, here you go. If it is something that you think will be noticeable, then you can address it. If not, I would just create it anyway. I mean, I could probably show you some YouTube channels of people who have severe things that just would likely make other people want to, or make many people not want to create. And then they just essentially use that as part of who they are. It makes you unique. And although it is likely a very annoying thing, I wouldn't have it hold you back. I wouldn't have it hold you back. It's just, if you can share information that helps, like, I don't care what you look like, I don't care what you sound like. If you're helping me, then I want to help you back, right? So focus on creating great content, and to, like, this is how I would approach it. I would go, hey, I'm going to create content. I mean, I wouldn't say this, but this is how I would approach it. I'm going to create stuff that's going to be so helpful for you that you would even not care what anybody looks like on the other end here, right? So that's kind of how I would approach it. You won't know if it's going to hold you back unless you start. But what is going to hold you back is your fear and your worry, because truth is, you're not creating anything. You're not going out there and connecting with others. And in fact, you could be an inspiration for others who have and suffer from the same thing. And you're holding yourself back because of this fear of the unknown. You don't know what the answer is going to be, but the truth is, when you don't create, you know what the answer is going to be. You're not going to have any results, right? All right, let's see. Question, The Destiny Show. What has been the best tool for you to manage ideas and projects? I've been leaning toward Google Sheets more lately. Used to rely on Trello. Yeah, same thing, Boris. I used to rely on Trello a lot, but I just like to keep it easy and easily accessible on places like Google Sheets. Google Sheets, and honestly, for like random ideas, notes. I used to use Evernote much more, but now I just kind of go into my regular iOS notes, and I just kind of have those things there because that's where they kind of start. And then I take them, materialize them, and then put them into Evernote or Google Sheets or other places when they start to materialize. Okay, let's see. Sai says, how to come up with a topic for a podcast. We talked about that. Question from David. It's a dream of mine to have you on my audiovisual production podcast someday. What topic would be great at covering for this audience? Podcasting, obviously, right, AV? So I think that something like that could potentially be interesting. Maybe the marketing of someone's video and audio. Something like that could be really interesting for us to chat about, because people who are coming to you likely are about the production quality, because I know you can offer really good content about that, and then I can go, okay, well, here's how we can get more people to find and see that. Just an idea. No, you're amazing. Do I have any fun plans for Halloween? I just decorated out this weekend. So we decorated our house this past weekend. Actually, it was last weekend. We actually, last night, right before bed, we surprised the kids and we said, hey, we're gonna go on a car ride. And they're like, where are we going? We drove around the neighborhood at night looking at our other neighbors and their decorations. Man, some really crazy ones. So cool, and it was a lot of fun. Halloween is one of our favorite holidays, and so we're probably gonna dress up. We're not gonna trick or treat. We're just gonna dress up, have some fun, probably eat a lot of sweets and stuff, and go there. So yeah, it should be fun. It should be fun, but definitely gonna be very different for sure. This was a breathing exercise that I used to do before I spoke on stages. I actually learned it from a woman named Carrie Ho, H-O, Carrie, K-E-R-R-I. She was my singing coach, and I hired her for about 6 months to help me learn how to sing, but it was mostly because I wanted to learn how to breathe better and have more endurance with my voice, because my voice is my business, my podcast, my videos, etc., my speaking, coaching. If I lose my voice, that's not a good thing. And she taught me a lot, and I just was buzzing just to kill time. But that was an exercise that we would do. That was another one to go. Man, it's been a while. I need to take singing lessons again. It was so much fun. Okay, let's see. Question from Dr. Joella. I'm doing Pitch Fest as a result of your podcast. Pitch Fest with Brittany. Brittany's awesome. That's how I got on television yesterday. I was on television for like a good 3-minute segment. It was awesome. It was in Arizona. How do I find a small or medium-sized podcast to pitch to? So go to podcasts on your Apple device, or Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts or some sort of directory, right? And then go there and hashtag bro. Thanks, common sense, philosophy. And let's see. What was the question? Sorry. Start reaching out. And in fact, I would reach out to a great place to start looking would be also LinkedIn. A great place to look would be Instagram, and looking up keywords like podcast and then connecting with them. As you know, I'm a big fan of getting onto Instagram and sharing a direct message with somebody else and asking and how I might be able to help them. So connecting on Instagram would be great. Maybe starting in one place and then eventually ending up on Instagram, whether it's a podcast directory or elsewhere. A lot of times people who are podcasters put their podcasting sort of title in their description, in their bio. And so you can look up potentially, I think there are tools to look up bios as well on desktop to find channels and profiles that have podcasts in their bio. So that's kind of how I would look for it within your space, and then kind of reach out to them individually like that with a little video. Beard tips. Wow, I'm not quite qualified. Let it grow. That's all I know. Let it grow. Let it grow. I am turning back anymore. Let's see here. Satender, what's up, Satender? I am creating a course about emotional well-being and innovation. What should be my best plan of action to make it a success? No email list, but good LinkedIn profile. Great start. So, emotional well-being and innovation. We need to uncover what the transformation is. You are offering well-being, but we don't wake up in the morning and go, oh, I wish I was, we want, what are the pains that you are helping to solve? What are the problems that you're solving? What's the transformation? After this course, on the other end of this will happen. And the more that this on the other end can, or it's actually this over here, the more that this is tangible and understandable, the more likely it is for people to get right away. We want them to understand what it is that they're paying for. They're paying for what? Emotional well-being? Well, what does that in fact mean? Does that mean stress-free days? That's a little bit more, that's a little bit more tangible. Hey, after you take this course, you will have no more stressful days. Even though your life will still remain busy, you will learn how to now handle them in such a way where your stress is not going to affect your decision-making. You could potentially lose weight as a result of this. You could potentially become healthier. You could potentially have better, stronger relationships as a result. You see how these are tangibles? These are the things that we want. We don't want a meditation course. We want what the meditation will give us: clear mind, clear understanding, breathing room during the day, etc. Right? I'll add Shredder to the list. Thanks for humoring me. You're welcome, Scott. Let's see. Rex says, how to come up with topics for a podcast. Also, your thoughts about LinkedIn. Cool. I already answered the first part. LinkedIn, I think, is great. We on Team SPR are going to actually be focusing on LinkedIn in 2021. I have not focused on it at all, although I know I have a profile. I know I'm underutilizing it, but it was a conscious decision to not use it like I know I could, because I'm using Twitter and Instagram as my primary platforms. And I only feel that I can choose two to focus on, or else if I were to divide all that energy across multiple platforms, they wouldn't get the love that they would need to be successful at all. So I'd much rather put a couple aside to say yes and go full in on a couple that I do want to work on. How does one create affiliate links? How does one get paid from that? So you have to join an affiliate program that a company will offer you then those affiliate links. So Amazon Associates is one. This is how you can promote anything on Amazon with an affiliate link attached to it, which connects to you and your account, such that when a person clicks through that, they make a purchase, you get paid. That is not always possible with all products, but many companies have affiliate programs. Sometimes they're displayed on their homepage. Sometimes they're something you have to ask for. And sometimes you might have to reach out to them and see what you might do to be able to still get credit. Also look up things like referral program or partnership program, partner program. These are all different things that basically need the same thing. GiftBiz Unwrapped says, so are you reducing focus on Twitter or IG now with the addition of LinkedIn? No, because my team is actually going to be focused on LinkedIn profile. This will be the first time that I've had anybody else either have access to or take control of my social streams, but on LinkedIn specifically, which is more business to business, I'm okay with that because they are a part of my business. On Twitter and Instagram, it's about me, my life, my family, etc. And that way, I don't think it makes sense to have others touch it right now or ever. But on LinkedIn, it's going to be business focused, business to business. So having people in my business be in charge of that makes more sense to me, and I'm okay with that. Excuse me. That was a burp, not like I saw something. Wow, burpy today. Very burpy today. All right, I'm answering as many questions as I can. I'm just gonna let you know up front, I won't be able to get to all of them, but I'm doing my best. And if you happen to be here hanging out with me today, hook me up with a thumbs up. That would encourage me quite a bit and help with the algorithm to have people find this later. Hopefully you can tell this is something that is very helpful and might be valuable to other people too. So hook me up with a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and ding that notification icon right there, that bell, so that you can get access to more videos that come out. I will have not just more live streams coming. Again, we're going to 365, y'all. We are more than halfway there, and I'm gonna get to 365 daily. What happens after that, we'll see. Part of me is like, oh, well, I'm already at 365. Let's go to 400. Oh, I'm already at 400. Let's go to 500. Oh, let's see if we can get to 4 figures. I don't know if that's going to happen, but likely things will change after day 365. We're going to make a big deal out of that. We might have a 24-hour stream or something crazy going on that day. We will see. But stick around and subscribe so you can get access to all those videos. Plus, I have some other videos coming out that are more sort of the short form videos pre-recorded here coming this week as well. So anyway, hit that thumbs up button, everybody. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Diego says, I have a home painting business. I have a website. I want to create blog video content to help other business owners succeed in the industry. I was curious if both can coexist in the same site. They absolutely can. This could be where you can also point people toward, maybe it's a different section or category, but you have to be careful about this because you still want to make it easy for people to be clients of yours. We don't want to just distract them. So you could potentially have, Diego Neves Painter or .com, which is your main website. I don't know if that's actually your main website, but then you can have Diego Neves paintingbusiness.com, which could maybe be a redirect to a certain section of the existing website that's sort of there, not necessarily displayed right up front on your homepage, or maybe there's a spot on the homepage that says, interested in getting your house painted, here you go. And you can also share, hey, I also help other painting businesses succeed too. This can also provide some authority for people to go, oh wow, this must be a really good person because they're also teaching others. Now, if you're interested in that, click here, and then that goes to a separate page or section on your website too. Faye. What's up, Faye? Good to see you here. Pat, can we please eventually get a video regarding how smaller YouTubers can get brand deals or sponsorships? I'm lost in the whole process. So yes, there are many websites out there that can become sort of like agents for you, but you have to have a certain level of authority, right? You have to have a certain number of subscribers in order to even start to have conversations with several of those brands. But this doesn't mean that small YouTubers can't get brand deals. In fact, I know some YouTubers in the travel space who have a very specific niche within the travel space, who companies within that specific niche within the travel space go to them and they want to work with them. So I would consider, in Faye, if I'm remembering correctly, you have, I think, some like Middle Eastern cuisine on your website. I remember reviewing it a long time ago. There might be some brands within that space, within your community, within your culture, that would love to get some additional exposure. That's what a brand deal is for. Remember, this isn't about you making more money. This is about giving more exposure to brands that make sense for your audience. Those brands, you want to make sure that they are going to go crazy. They're going to go gaga, having now access to this very targeted audience. And as a byproduct of that, they will pay you, right? So this is the approach. You want to consider how or what brands would absolutely just be flabbergasted at the opportunity to get in front of your audience and then work out a deal with them from there. So it might take you reaching out directly to make this happen, but you can go from there. Let's see, more questions. What do you see as the future of podcasting as compared to YouTube over the next 3 to 5 years? Is YouTube going to dominate the visual media in near future, and will it outpace podcasting? I mean, it already has outpaced podcasting. YouTube is much more stronger. The algorithm is much better. The ability for a video to go viral, that's not possible in a podcast because of the findability and the way that podcasts are displayed versus the way YouTube videos are displayed. I think podcasting is still going to continue to evolve. I think video is going to be a component of podcasting for many podcasters in the future, but I think audio is still on the rise. I would compare audio now, podcasting now, to what blogging was 10 years ago. And if we could see the trajectory of how many people are on the platform, how things start to take off, it's following the same process. In fact, Seth Godin recently said that podcasting is the new blogging. So we're going to see a very similar case. We have a lot more money being spent. We have a lot more companies being created to help the podcasting space, because this is where a lot of people are paying attention now. And where there's people paying attention, people will pay money to get in front of those people and help people, help those creators. And hopefully with things like Fusebox, which is my company, Fusebox.fm, we can create essentially the pickaxes and the shovels that we could sell to those gold miners, if you will. Search is way better with YouTube than podcasting, and recommendations and things like that. It's just a different beast. It's a different beast, but it's definitely going to change, and we'll definitely try to be on top of that as much as possible. Miss Boyce says, Pat, I want to thank you. I started batch processing my podcast this week, and it's amazing to have extra time to do other things. You're welcome. Awesome. Your thoughts about LinkedIn? Severely under appreciated. I think that, and I know that many people are using that primarily. I think it's, if you want to try it out, commit to it for a good 3-month period, build relationships with other business owners. I think it's a fantastic platform. I know some people who use it solely and are doing really well. I just chose not to do that myself because I'm focusing on others. Question, what do you recommend to stream from Ecamm to multiple platforms? Restream, pros, cons? Restream would be the one. I would not, I haven't done it myself recently, but in my experience, when I've done the multiple platform situation, it always seems to reduce the engagement, because then now I have multiple platforms and multiple people. So my attention to individual platforms is now reduced. My percentage of engagement within individual platforms is reduced because it's all kind of spread out now. And so I much prefer to go one place and just make it not so confusing. Like, I want people to go, oh my gosh, I got to check out the show. I'm going to go here and get it, versus trying to check it out in all the different places. Plus, it's more people to manage. It's more different kind of things to manage. And yes, we want to reach more people, but I want to be as engaged as possible and own my show on one platform and not have it be spread out. That's just my thought. Maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot because of that. It's worth experimenting with for sure, but I want to make it just like, this is my YouTube show. And I want to take advantage of YouTube, its algorithms, and the fact that everybody can connect here in the membership. Plus, call to actions are a little bit easier. Like if I were to share this subscription, like There's no bell notification icon on Facebook. There's no bell notification icon on Periscope or whatever. So it just confuses the call to actions. I want the stronger call to action, if that makes sense. Let's see. Amina says, I'm having trouble with my website. Any suggestions? I would get really defined with what those troubles are, maybe prioritize them to what would make the most sense to tackle first, and then go find people who have answered those questions or have tackled those problems before. There's a lot of places like WP, which stands for WordPress, WPBeginner.com, that answers so many questions that people have on WordPress stuff. You can look up things on YouTube. A lot of people solve people's problems on YouTube. But let's get very clear with which problems are you having and which ones should be prioritized. Edward says, have you ever been to the Philippines? Yes, twice. I was there once when I was 8. I also was there when I was 28, so almost 10 years ago, to speak at an event that Chris Ducker held because he used to live there as well. Cool. Question I saw earlier from Consult the Blind Guy. Thanks for the thumbs down. Hope you have a better day. It still helps with the algorithm, so I appreciate you. And if you want to talk it out, let me know. But when it comes to my topics for my daily streams here, we've gone 214 days straight. And a lot of people ask me this question, Consult the Blind Guy, which is, well, how do we know, or how do you know what to talk about? How do you come up with so many ideas? There are millions of things that we could talk about, and I could talk about one thing in a million ways. So there's actually many different possibilities for, not necessarily unlimited, but there's plenty. And a lot of it stems from you. A lot of it stems from the community. A lot of it stems from what's popular elsewhere, and then coming up with ideas, and also just considering what I'm interested in, what's bringing me life right now, what am I doing right now. These are all different places that I get inspiration. Woo, jeez. To come up with new stuff here for you. I would volunteer to share my knowledge on LinkedIn with Team Pat Flynn, any opportunity. I mean, if you wanted to create a video, I can point people to it or things like that. Maybe once we start doing more LinkedIn next year, we can talk more about something a little bit more formal. We'll figure it out. But yeah, thanks for volunteering. Let's see, scroll down here. Lola, hey Pat, how can I apply what you wrote in Superfran's book in the wedding business? I'm a DJ and I want to give the best experience to my clients, not only with my performance. Greetings from Mexico. So I would see what I could do in the journey that a bride and groom have from the start of their planning process all the way to when the event happens. I would see what you can do to provide little moments of surprises. This is in the later chapters of the book, but small, unexpected moments of surprise. One thing that you could do is perhaps reach out to the groom and say, and this is something that I wish happened, reach out to the groom and say, hey, what might be a special song that your bride might be very thankful for to play at the wedding? And then this is a great way for you to sort of make a connection to the groom, for example, and see how you're going a little bit extra to go a little bit further to make that day special for them. And then you can go to the bride and do the same thing, and then you can, at the wedding, or have some really cool moment where you pop in that music at a certain time. Or create, maybe have like an album or something created, or like a record, right? A vinyl of special made for them with both of those songs on it, right? Like that would be amazing, just a special gift. And it doesn't have to be something paid, but you know, something like that could be really interesting. Again, it's all about those small moments of surprise. I would consider even reaching out to other members of their family or whoever else you might have access to learn more about them and see what you can do to provide a really amazing experience on that night where you DJ. I think connecting with other vendors to help support them as well. I mean, again, it's all about going beyond what people expect, right? And that's really what the book is about. Also reaching out to the client via Instagram, via video, just wishing them well. Like that, like nobody does that. No vendors do that. It's when you take the business and go relationship. You go from business to relationship. That's when it starts to build superfans. And this is how over time you start to get recommendations and things like that coming back your way. All right, I'm going to answer 2 more questions. I apologize again, I'm not able to get to everybody's questions, but we are already an hour through this conversation, and I'm just so thrilled and so stoked, so excited. You probably heard my energy levels even gain more steam in the middle when I started talking really fast. It's a good sign that the coffee's kicked in and the high from being here with you has kicked in as well at the same time. But again, I'm very grateful for your time today. I'm going to answer 2 more questions and go from here. Let's see. Charles says, I'll stay up with you for a 24-hour stream. That'll be my promise if you do it. I don't know if that's very healthy, but we'll see. Yeah, sorry, I'm just noticing some of the chat saying that the volume got a little high. That seemed to be for one particular song, but I guess that sort of fixed itself. And I apologize about that, but we should be good to go there. All right, still 2 more questions to answer. Question, how do you come up with, oh, we answered this question for you already. Pat, would you be okay if I share snippets or recordings of your videos that I love in my blog or social media with a link back to, should I email to request for permission first? That's a good question. I think if you wanted to take, if you wanted to take clips of the income stream, that's fine. This is public anyway, and that would all do nothing but help me. But there's some gray area there, obviously. But if you wanted to take clips and share them, that's totally fine. Just make sure to @tag me and point people back to the show. I'd be okay with that. All right. Can we enroll for affiliate program for any of the SPI products? You can. If you reach out to affiliates@teamspi.com, we can have a conversation about that. Typically, they're reserved for people who I already have a relationship with or are my students. But let's start that relationship. Why don't you reach out? affiliates@teamspi.com. Is Fusebox similar to FusionCast to help create a video version of the podcast? No. That may be a tool that we build into that later, but this is a suite of tools that can help you as a podcaster who has a website to better display your podcast, to better display your transcription, have it be SEO friendly, all that stuff. All right, one more question. Can I see who gives thumbs down on your YouTube channel? 100%. And I always reach out to these people after and we have conversations and I just like slap them around a little bit. I'm just kidding. No, I can't. That's anonymous and I wouldn't do that anyway. So I just want to make you laugh a little bit or have you gasp. But no, I don't do that. We don't know who leaves the thumbs down unless they say it. And you know, if you feel like you need to make a thumbs down to make yourself feel better, go ahead and do that. Like however you want to use me to make yourself feel better. But I promise you, hopefully you can stick around and I can help make your day a better one. And hopefully this has helped too. So cool. Anyway, thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate you for today. Make sure to come back in tomorrow where we're going to be discussing a brand new topic. Tomorrow, I believe, there's the thumbs down. There's the thumbs down. Tomorrow, I'm actually going to be starting super early, because I have a board meeting tomorrow at ConvertKit or with ConvertKit. ConvertKit is the email service provider I use. Tomorrow is a board meeting. I'm actually going to be going another hour earlier than today. So it's going to be 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. So we're actually an hour earlier tomorrow, and that's because I have that board meeting that's going on. And so I apologize about that, but that's what we have to do because these things come once a year and I cannot miss it. So we'll go there. So thank you again so much. I appreciate you, and create a great day, all right? So it will be 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern in the morning. So great time, everybody. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and have a great Sunday. Take care, and as always, Team Flynn for the win. Peace out, y'all.
This is the income stream to help you achieve your dream, all while we keep it clean. This is the income stream. It's the kind of show where you can come and go, but then you leave inspired with no fee required. The income stream with Pat Flynn.
Thanks, y'all. Appreciate you for today. All the amazing questions. Hopefully I was able to help you out, or by answering another person's question, also help you out. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Again, we're starting even earlier, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. Take care. Thank you so much. And as always, Team Flynn for the win. Peace out, y'all. Bruh.